Good afternoon, students. Welcome to yet another session for learning support in mathematics. But this session will only focus on our assignment, where I'm going to give you some guidelines on how I expect you to write your assignment and just discuss some of the questions that I think you need to think much more deeper than others. Okay, my name is Loide Ampolo and I am your tutor for this subject, Bes-Mat42. Okay, welcome to our 2018 assignment-based contact session. As I said, this presentation will not cover any content of the subject, but only few questions and to give you a general guideline that I want you to keep in mind when you are writing your 2018 assignment. So we are just going to look at the questions and just to give you some guidelines on how to go about writing your assignment for this subject. Okay, let's start with the assignment layout. First of all, your assignment must have a cover page that will be provided by Iol, and then from there I need you to have a table of content that will just give just to direct on what you have write in your assignment, and then there should be a very short introduction, not more than half a page. It should not be too long, just not more than half a page. A paragraph or two is enough for the introduction. What you have what is that you are going to discuss or to write in the assignment. And then the next part is the assignment content. Now that is where you have to answer your questions, and then you have to put out your conclusion, what you have learned, and what are you going to do in your subject from what you have learned, and then the references. Please put up some, if you used a textbook, a study guide, internet, or whatever information you have used to answer your assignment, you must put it under the references. And people, my students, remember that we are academics, and therefore your writing should be professionally presentable. We are going ahead with our academic writings, and this is the stepping stone of how to do it professionally. When you are going ahead with your studies, at least you are used to write professional writings and you know what is expected from you. Okay. Let's look at some of the general information that I need you to look at. You must pay attention to the verbs in the questions. The verbs in the question: discuss, explain, name, list, mention, briefly say out something. Those are the things that you need to know. And you should know what to do when the question asks you to explain, when the question asks you to mention, to list, to describe, to outline, etc. And those the definition of those verbs are, you can find them on the fourth page of your study guide. So then just get to that page, and then if you don't know what you should put under explanation, you must just go and read about what is explanation all about, and just answer the question. So then get to the point, just answer the question. Okay, don't beat around the bush, answer the question direct. If it say list, I just want points, not long sentences. Okay, and then use the examination pen to write your assignment. And then if you are just using these books, cut out the pages nicely using a scissor or a ruler, and then draw a line on the other side of the margin of the paper where I can be able to put your marks. As I said, your writing should be professional, your paper should be professional as well. It should be well presented. So putting in mind that my writing, and it should be on point. Okay, and then you are not just bound to use the study guide. You are free to Google and you are free to use other materials, but then just remember to recognize them and put them under your reference list. Do not make somebody's ideas your own. Recognize that idea, just put it under the reference, and in-text referencing as well, that this idea is from who, so then just put it up there. Okay, it's very, very, very much important. Get used to that when you are going to maybe to do your research for your master's or for your doctorate. You are used to this. Okay, so just do that. It's very much important. And then number the questions nicely according to the question paper. If the question paper is question 1, make sure that you write question 1, question 1.1, then you answer your question 1.2, then you answer your questions. Do not just write as if you are writing an essay. So then number your questions nicely according to the question paper. And then skip a line after each question, please. So then I want to see that this is the end of question 1.1. So skip a line, and then I can now see question 1.2 and so on. Okay, you can even underline after each question. Yeah. Make sure that your final piece is neat and legible, and all the pages are securely fastened together. By the time your paper reach us, I cannot find another page. I cannot find the last page, and this is not good. Make sure that your papers are well fastened together, please, and make sure that your paper, your final piece, is neat. The one that your tutor is going to mark. Please make sure that it's neat. And then, as I said earlier on, remember that your academics and your writing should be professionally presentable. Just put that one in your mind, please, when you are writing your assignment. Let's talk about a little bit about the assignment. It's divided into 4 questions with sub-questions, and the total marks for the assignment is 100 marks. So then we have question 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and 1.4, question 2, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, and so on. That is how the assignment layout is. But then it's on out of 100 marks, and you need to score a minimum of 50%, which is less, to qualify for your examination. This is quite a general subject. You can use your knowledge, you can use your study guide, you can Google. The information there is quite general, and it's mostly used worldwide. Okay, so then don't be afraid of this. You can do it. You can achieve that 50%. And then do the assignment by yourself in order to familiarize yourself with the study guide and the questioning techniques. If you give your assignment to someone to do it for you, you won't even know where this thing is, on what page it is. So then when you are coming to write your final examination, you'll be confused. You go in panic because you don't know where to start. But then at least if you do your assignment by yourself, you know that I came across this question in the assignment, this is where it is, and this is how I will answer it. Okay, so then answering the assignment by yourself or doing the assignment yourself will help you when you are preparing for your examination. Do your work by yourself. All right, very much important. Okay, let's look at some questions. The first question is by using examples, suggest activities for introduction that you can do before the lesson to activate prior knowledge in learners and develop some ideas about subtracting fractions. This is not necessarily question 1, but then it's part of the questions that are in the assignment. Okay, it might be question 2 or 3 or 4. So then I just took it so that you can look at this question. Now I put some of these words in bold so that it can direct your thinking. By using examples, I want to see some examples there. Suggest activities for introduction. That one is just for introduction. What must you do in your introduction when you are teaching subtracting fractions? What example can you give them so that you can activate their prior knowledge about subtraction fractions? Okay, remember that learners do things, they do mathematics every day, but they don't know that they are doing mathematics. Now imagine you want them to think about the subtraction thing that they do. What type of examples can you bring in the class so that they can think that, now when I'm doing this is kind of subtracting fractions. Okay, so then just use examples, activities for introduction before the lesson, just in the introduction, not in the content, not in the conclusion. It should be part of the introduction, just to activate their prior knowledge about subtracting fractions. Okay, the next question is describe. There's a keyword there, describe. How you can use the shapes in the box here, only the shapes in the box. So then in the box there is only a circle, a cube, a cuboid, a triangle, cylinder, a rectangle. I cannot see a parallelogram here. I cannot see a rhombus, a kite. So then just use this in the box. Just use the examples in the box, the shapes in the box, to design different adult guided activities in the class. So then here you must know what adult guided activities are. Go in your study guide, find out about that guided activities, so that you only be able to answer this one correct. If you don't know what adult guided activities are, you might go out of the line on this question. So then go there and make sure that you know what adult guided activities are, and then just describe. How can you use describe? Means go much, try to go in much detail. There's only 5 marks there, but there are key points that I'm going to look at, that if this I say this is part of the main point in the answers that I'm expecting. Okay, just use this one and to design activity, an adult guided activity in the class. Okay, the third question is most pupils find it difficult to work with fractions. I hope we are aware of that. Describe in details how you can prepare pupils to approach fractions comfortably in the examination. We are talking about fractions here, and I hope we know how these kids struggle with fractions. For instance, if you give just a kid or a learner 1/3 plus 4/5, you see strange answers here. I hope you are aware of that. Some of them, you just say 1 plus 4, 5. 3 plus 5, 8. And that is their answer. As simple as that. So, and this is a common mistake, and so many others under fractions. Okay, so then describe in detail how can you prepare the learners now to keep them away from doing such a mistake. How can you prepare them to approach fractions comfortably in the examination? That they should not panic by seeing something like this, or maybe something accompanied by mixed numbers, or maybe something with brackets again, then here maybe a minus, then time a division again, something long like that. So how can you help learners approach this type of questions, fraction related questions in the examination? They can be question like this, or maybe word problems where fractions are involved. Okay, so then just try to do that one, and consult your study guide as well, and Google. Sometimes you'll get some information there, you can get some help. The last question, enhancing understanding and retrieval of information requires repetition, review, developing meaning, and practice. Enhancing understanding, for you to help learners understand and remember information, remember what you have taught them, requires you to repeat, to review, and develop meaning and practice. Now choose a topic. Choose a topic from your teaching experience and discuss in details how you can help develop understanding of a chosen concept. If you choose fractions, how can you help, or how can you enhance the understanding of fractions through repetition, review, developing the meaning of what a fraction is, and practice fractions. So then take a topic and then just discuss in much more detail, and how can you help those learners understand the concept. There are so many concepts in mathematics that learners are struggling to understand. So then just choose that critical topic and then just try to give us much more details on how you can go about it, so that they can understand it better and avoid making the mistakes. Okay. In conclusion, read the questions carefully, please. You can underline the keywords to direct your thinking. I like doing that so that I can know what is expected from me. Read twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, so that you can really understand what is this question is asking me to do. And when you are, the moment you start reading, underline those keywords that will direct your thinking. Your answer must be complete. Please, for you to scoop 10 marks, make sure that you're writing worth 10 marks. Your points worth 10 marks. Your answers must be complete. And look at the marks allocated to direct your thinking. Okay? And please answer the question. I like saying that many times. Answer the question. Alright? And then write as neatly as you can. You can write a rough write a rough paper assignment first, and then just copy it nicely, neatly for your final product. I wish all of the best, my students, and thank you very much.